So I'm Mrs. Garcia and Mrs. G, and I want to tell you guys what my day was like today. It was actually 2 days ago, but it was my first time being in an online virtual like Zoom meeting with my students this year, and wow, it was interesting. So I wanted to share my experiences with you. I wanted to talk about some of the pros and the cons of what happened, and so let's go over it. All right, so I want to start by saying let's talk about the pros first. So it was a lot of fun when students were participating. I played a game called Gibberish where it had like the words on the screen and they were kind of crazy words and the students had to say the words, and as they were saying it they were able to kind of sound out, and it like those words actually meant different words anyways, but they had to say the words on the screen to figure out what words they were. I don't know, it's called Gibberish. It's an icebreaker game. It was a lot of fun. So like I said, if the kids participated, we were laughing, kids were trying to compete with one another. That part was fun. Now, I think that's pretty much the only pro that I can come up with. Besides the fact, no, there was another pro too, was I got to see my students that I haven't seen in a long time, because I had some students that I had in my biology class that I had them this year for my intro to physical science class. So that was awesome. And just, to see, I would say see some of their faces, but I'll be honest, I didn't see a lot of their faces. So let's get into the con part. So some of the cons I would say was that I had a lot of students that had their screen turned off. So it was like black and it just said their name. And so that part was a little what should I say? It was a little sad for me, because I'm just so big at seeing my students in the class and making those personal relationships with them. And when you're staring at a black screen, and you're just, maybe you're seeing a name and you don't really get to communicate, it's just different. So that part was a little hard for me, as I didn't have very many cameras turned on. Um, the tech wasn't that good as well. So technology wise, because all of these schools are trying to get technology equipment right now, because we're all online for a lot of the areas, this area where I live in, it's just really hard to get equipment. So I felt like I didn't have everything I needed to really host a Zoom meeting and make sure that I could monitor the kids and take like I should be able to. So I had to bring a lot of my stuff from home so I could feel like that I was able to monitor it a little bit better and stuff. Because the Chromebook I was using was really, really laggy, and the meetings that I had prior to school were I was getting kicked out of, and so many issues. So it was a little frustrating to have to bring my own equipment from home, and so I would bring it. I put it in my one of my bags, and I had to bring my, I don't know, just a bunch of stuff like my not my camera. I did bring my webcam. They did get me a webcam, but it was just I didn't want to use it because I got it last minute. And I wanted to make sure I knew how to use the equipment. And then my speakers, I had to bring my speakers, my microphone, and other things. And so, anyways, but I'm going to be getting some other equipment. It's just, again, everything's kind of backed up. So technology wise was, a little hard for me. And what else did I have? So the Zoom meeting itself is the fact that you have to monitor and check so many things. So you're checking your roster to make sure that the students that are in the wait room for the Zoom are the correct students, that they're on your list. And then you're letting the students in, and then you're trying to monitor the chat to make sure no one's saying anything inappropriately. And then you're also monitoring the screens for the kids that do have their screens on. You want to make sure that there's nothing that someone shows that they're not supposed to. So you're checking all these different things. And then even as you start lecturing, or if you're talking or whatever you were doing in any of your other classes that you guys had as well, if you've started yet, you might have to stop to check the weight room to see, to let that student in. And then you're picking up your roster again to make sure that they're on the list to let them in. And so it's like a lot of interruptions. And so that's kind of how my first day went, or my first 2 days. But it was really nice to see my students. And I just wish that Zoom itself would get some more features that I feel like that we need as teachers. You can mute all the students upon entry, which is so neat. But you have to make sure you click a button right when you get in. It's like under the mute all button. that says do not allow them to unmute themselves, because if you don't click that right when you get in, students can unmute themselves. And I had some students that were like playing music, and I told them not to play music. And then so I had one student would turn it on and off. So it's like all these little things that you got to kind of work out and figure out. And so, you know, that's just school and technology. But overall, I enjoyed it. And we'll see what's to come. I'd love to hear your guys' experiences. What did you guys think? If you haven't gone back, what are some things are you worried about? You know, was your technology, you know, up to where it was? Anything like that? Other than that, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye.